Hello, beautiful people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Honest Am here, the creator and writer of the Honesty Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared toward millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another daily motivational video where we use the tarot to become the alchemists of our lives. A little bit about me. I do not just use the tarot. I use God and cusses in the same sentence, and I may mispronounce some things, but if it does not stop Charlamagne the God, it will not stop me. So, how are you, good people? I have been missing you guys, but I'm gonna be honest. Like, I have just been, I'm in sync with the seasons. Like, I've just been really in this place of just rest. I really haven't been trying to push myself. Like, I haven't even been writing for real lately. But today I woke up this morning and something told me to do some channeling. So I'm actually not going to talk a lot. Angel number 49. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, I come to you as humbly as I know how to say thank you. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Now, dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, I ask, what information do you deem worthy for us to hear at this time? Please deliver these messages to me and through me. Allow no room for doubt or confusion in me or the viewer's mind. In God's name I pray. Ashe. All right. Let's see. Two cards only. Trying to just do maybe two messages, 2 or 3. Not going to do a lot. I do owe you guys a pick a card reading, so I'm definitely trying to get that out within the next week or so. Wow. So we actually had a lot of cards come out, and that's fine because I actually intend for this to kind of be like an energy read, to kind of just see what's going on in the world. So let's see. All right. So we have grace here, expansiveness. I love this. With forgiveness and presence. I'm actually just going to do it like this. We have the overall theme of this is all about grace, along with expansiveness, forgiveness. I feel like God is saying when you forgive yourself, when you give yourself grace, you expand when you give yourself grace. When you give yourself grace for situations that hurt you, you give yourself space to have forgiveness for others and also to let that part that's been holding on, and that's what it is. When you give yourself grace for the things that went wrong into your life, you open up the space for new things to come into your life. And as you learn how to forgive yourself, you will learn how to forgive others, and you will learn how to be more confident in yourself and in your presence. So that was the little quick collective read, angel number 245, but do not take my word for it. I'm actually going to go ahead and go into the tarot and get some more information. Dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, what is this message of grace, expansiveness, forgiveness, and presence? Grace, expansiveness, forgiveness, and presence. What is this message all about? Allow no room for doubt or confusion. Forgiveness and presence. All right. Whatever is coming is going to have this 6 of Cup energy. When I see the 6 of Cup, angel number 323, what this symbolizes to me, this could symbolize somebody coming back from your childhood, gifting you with something. But honestly, I look at this card so much deeper, and I look at this as you, and then this is your younger self. And I feel like when you take the time to go, do those things that you were passionate about as a child, when you go do those things that make you excited, I feel like it's feeding into your inner child, and it's like giving her flowers or giving her those things that she always wished that she would have. And I honestly feel like this message is maybe encouraging you to go after a childhood endeavor, go after a childhood hobby, or it could be giving you that confirmation that that childhood hobby that you have been doing is actually working out for you, and it's really going to give back to you tenfold. But we're going to go ahead and dig into the tarot. I'm trying to learn how to take the messages and then just cut it off really, really quickly. And I told you guys I got my yoga class, and so I'm just really trying to learn how to be more concise in my messages and stop rambling so much. So that's really why I'm trying to keep the messages at 15 to 20 minutes. It's not, yes, it's for time's sake, but also because I'm trying to learn how to be more concise in my tellings and my explanations and my channeling pretty much. So, okay. So under grace, what came out is the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords, the sword symbolizes communication. And this, to me, the Knight of Swords, you see this man or woman or they, whatever, is on this horse, and it's like they're rushing head towards. With that imagery of rushing head forward, with knowing that it's about communication, I feel like I get the energy that you're the type of person, and I am this type of person. I am an Aries sun. And so it's like sometimes I can say things very, very, like on my tongue. It's like it can be very deadly at times. And when I am being very passionate, or when I'm in the heat of the moment, I can say things that I don't really mean. And then after I say it, I'll beat myself up about it. But I just feel like what God is saying is that you just need to be aware of that. Now that you are aware of that, and I've really been trying to work on it. I've ran into this girl actually on Twitter, and I found her YouTube page. Her name is Tarot Bronx. I'll make sure I link it down below. Also, you guys, if you've been here for a while, I say this all the time, but please make sure, if you're just checking in, hi, I'm Am. Make sure that you check out the description box below, because I always try to put resources in there, because I may get a certain message when I hear stuff, but you may get something else. So that's why I'm always like, go find for yourself, go do for yourself. This is just me telling you my experience, and I'm hoping that it can help you on your journey. So anyways, I was watching Tarot Bronx, and I really like her videos because she does a really good thing with combining astrology and human design. And I'm really trying to understand how to, and pretty much, and that is what human design is. Human design is, I feel like, numerology and astrology all put in one. And it helps you understand your energy and how you respond to things. And I realized that I'm an emotional authority type, and which means that, I already knew this by, channeling that I make decisions based on how I feel about things. But what this taught me, like watching her video, it taught me that when something is very triggering to me and I get really mad and I want to just, like cuss somebody out, or I say it really fast, what it's really doing is it's just attracting that energy to me more and more. And so what Bronx, the way that she was explaining this, and maybe that's why I will link the thread that she explained this, and she was talking about Megan Thee Stallion. And me and Megan Thee Stallion are both, what is it called? It's a generator, manifesting generators. And so we have this ability to attract things to us. And what she was saying is that, what Tarot Bronx was saying, I don't know her pronouns, but what they were saying is that by Megan always responding to things in the heat of a moment, all it does is just attract more of that energy to her. And so to stop that from happening, what me and what Megan Thee Stallion has to do is that when you want to impulsively respond to something, take a beat. Maybe you can even write it out. I'm trying to apply this to work. Maybe write out the email and then just leave it there. Don't send the email. Wait until you calm down, and then go back. And then also have grace with yourself, because again, remember, we've been doing these things for a long time. Angel number 833. And so we have to give ourselves grace to unlearn these patterns. But this has been a pattern that's been ingrained in us for a long time. For me, I'm 33. I've been doing this for 33 years of my life. I have to have some grace for myself when I don't do this. But now that we're aware that this is a pattern, and we're aware of how that's affecting our life and how that's magnetizing more things into our life, we can be mindful of that moving forward. I feel like this is so, in terms of general energy, I feel like God is explaining this to us because there are a lot of things that are going on in the world right now between, of course, we just came out of elections, between white supremacy, I don't even want to talk about that, between, the racial relations that are going on here. Literally, I was watching a clip, and they were talking about how NASA narrowly missed these fucking meteorites that was heading to Earth. Like, it just barely saw it before it kind of hit us. And so it's like, there's all these things that are going on, propaganda that is, I don't even want to call it propaganda. There is just a lot of shit going on in the world right now. And the way that my chief advisor was kind of like explaining it to me was This could be the best time of your life, or it could be the worst time of your life. And it really comes from, and I told you guys we're in that Aquarian age, it really comes from how we manage it, how we manage our energy. And so this message is coming about because God is saying that with all of this stuff going on in the world, we don't need to be impulsive. We don't need to be responding to things right away. We don't need to be doing these think pieces. We don't need to just, because what we'll do is just keep magnetizing that energy to us. And so God is saying, even if you do it a couple of times, have grace for yourself, but moving forward, be aware of that pattern. And then notice that when you're reacting to something, maybe don't send out the tweet. Maybe don't text somebody. Maybe don't send that email. Wait until you calm down, read whatever you're about to say, edit it because it probably looks crazy, and then go ahead and send it, okay? Underneath this is expansiveness, contributing to this grace. And what happened was the devil, it came out reverse. And I really, again, as I was telling you guys, this is a pattern that we've had for a very, very long time. And I feel like what God is saying is that this pattern of, impulsively responding to things, being quick-tempered, giving our energy to things that don't really necessarily deserve our energy, it's what's blocking our expansiveness. The devil is all about literally self-sabotage, being connected, feeling like you're bind to these things, these habits that you just, you can't break. And maybe you feel that way, like, this is just who I am. This is just how I am. And it's like, I hate when people say that, like, no, you can change, like, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of human. That's the difference between us and animals. Like, we have the ability that we have this thing called the brain where we can sit, process, and realize that these behaviors are no longer serving us. And so what God is saying is that our impulsiveness, us are jumping on everything, us, even when it comes to, and I hate to say it, but even when it comes to like police brutality and like racial relations and, all of that stuff, by you constantly putting your energy into it, every time you get mad, responding to it, making tweets about it, making these, making Karens famous, because it's like, we do know at this point, certain designers, certain brands do stuff like that because they want to use Black Twitter. They want to use an outrage to push the thing further. Right? Because some people just want to be on a hate train and they will support something just because they see that it makes a whole nother group mad. And so what God is saying is to stop all of this divisiveness and to stop giving our energy to these lower energies. We have to rise above it. And when we do feel ourselves being mad, being passionate, pausing, taking a break until we can calm down and then calmly articulate our feelings. I feel like we as Black people have been in this state of outrage, rightfully so, for a very long time. But it's like, at this point, if I was a white person, I look at this as a Black person, like, okay, we know somebody gets shot, somebody get killed. You're going to march in the street for a week and then you're going to go back to your normal life. Some celebrity is going to do something. Some fucking TikTok video is going to become the hottest trend. And then your mind is going to be off of it. Who would take you fucking serious? It's like, who would take you serious? And it's cool because when you're in the heat of the moment, when you're passionate, like, I'm walking in the street, that I'm making a change. But then you take your ass home and nothing's changing. And it's because we're not really thinking through things. We're only being passionate and reactive when we should actually be, angel number 1330, thinking about what's happening, taking that rage and actually filtering it into something. And so I'm going to get off my soapbox on that. But this message is saying that if we could learn to just slow down and stop being so impulsive and stop, just being so impulsive, being quick-tempered, then we can get that expansiveness that we want, because this devil came out reverse. And so God is saying, if you give yourself grace, if you just take that pause to not be so compulsive, you will really start tapping into getting control of your power. And we know once you get in control of your power, you get control of your vibration, you get in control of your life, and then you're expanding, you're out of there, right? Underneath this is forgiveness. And I love this. And this is what God is saying. Yeah, you've been doing this for 33 years. Forgive yourself for it. Whatever. You wasn't aware of it. That's the thing. Yeah, you can say, I'm like this. This is just who I am. But now that you're aware of this is who I am, you can make a choice. You can make a choice to just keep being that way. Or you can make a choice to be like, you know what? That's how I am. I really don't like being this way. So I'm going to change. And look at this. Look at the polar opposites. It's polar opposites. When you break this habit of being impulsive, when you break this habit of giving your energy to things that no longer serve you, you come in union not only with yourself but with another. This come under forgiveness. When you learn how, because I think what it will happen is by you, and it's just like that yoga technique, by you learning how to pause and like really think through your emotions, you'll start looking at the other part, the other half of that reflection, and you'll be like, this doesn't make sense. This is crazy. I don't want to react this way. I don't want to be this type of person. And then you can change. And you can, not only can you change, you can have compassion, and you can be like, oh, I remember when I was that way. I used to feel like I was loud and wrong and thought that this was the right way to do things, right? This is what we also have to understand in the spiritual community, and as healers and as light workers or whatever catchphrase you want to call yourself. The purpose of us doing this journey is not for us to get on some fucking pedestal and become Gandhi and then we're looking down at everybody. The purpose of us going through this, if you're a true healer, is for one, to teach others, to show others, to be an example of what it means to honestly have compassion, honestly have love, honestly be able to grow and have and transform in life so that others know that they can do the same, so others know that people can change. It's not for you to become this superior complex and then you start judging people and calling people toxic and low vibration. And no, that's not the purpose of the journey. Okay? So getting back to this message is all about God is saying to have grace for ourselves. And when we find ourselves being passionate or find ourselves getting triggered by things, to pause, to not be so reactive, to not give all our power away. And if we do that, we'll be able to break this chain, be able to break this limiting belief. We'll be able to get that expansiveness that we've been looking for. We'll not only forgive ourselves, we'll be able to forgive others. We'll be able to go out in the world and we can be a more wholer version of ourselves. You see here, this couple here was chained and they had God, the devil looking down at them. You go through this process, you're no longer chained. You're holding hands and you have God looking upon you because you're no longer ruled by that lower entity because you're learning how to take control of your vibration. Okay, I'm not going to repeat it. Underneath this is presence. And this is what God is saying. This message is all about trying to understand your presence. And it takes me back to a Miriam Hasna quote, your energy is your currency. And this is what God is saying. Right now we are in this world. It's Seven of Cups. Every time I see Seven of Cups, you can look at the card. It's confusion. And this is what the world is. Everything is trying to vie for your attention. Your loved ones are trying to vie for your attention. Your friends, your family, your mate, if you have one, your job, the fucking, government, the list can goes on and on. Social media, celebrities, like all of these things, the latest, fucking Netflix from scratch, whatever. All of these things is trying to get your energy. All of these things are trying to pull you in a direction. But your job as a spiritual being is to, even when you do get caught up, is to pull yourself back instead of being impulsive and allowing the world to tell you where you're going to get your energy. You pull your energy back and you decide, okay, no, I'm going to give my energy to that today and I'm going to ignore everything else. Or I'm going to give my energy to that and I'm going to ignore everything else. Or if you get outraged, I really love using this example of work because I feel like to me, it was like such a light bulb moment because it's like I have, because at work you play in these, these power dynamics. And I do realize that when I started to hold myself to a higher level, or when I'm like, okay, I'm not going to jump whenever a PM tells me to jump. I'm going to tell them that if I'm in the middle of doing something, I'm going to say, hey, can you give me 15 minutes? Engine number 1852. And it's something as small as that. I work in a very male-driven, dominated field. So it's like, just something as small as that is like, ooh, shit, that's who you think you are, a person saying to have boundaries. But it's like the moment that I did that, I noticed that PMs were starting to approach me differently. The people that I was working with were approaching me differently. They were actually trying to have conversations because I feel like I changed how I was interacting with things. But then I still had this weird, thing going on in my emails. And when I heard that message from Bronx, it made me realize like, oh, it's my impulsiveness because I would get an email that pissed me off or I feel like somebody's trying to belittle me or sun me. And I'd be like, per my last email, da 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 da. And then I send it off, and then I'll be like, ugh, you know, like, or then we're going back and forth in an email train, or I send it off, and then 5 minutes later, I'm like, fuck, I wish I would have just calmed down. And so that's blocking my expansiveness. That's blocking me from really true seeing my power. That's blocking me from really seeing my power. And so Angel of 1959, now I know moving forward, okay, do not do that. Be mindful of where I'm putting my energy and not allowing people to move me in different directions. Because how can you say that you're the alchemist of your life if any and everything can phase you and move you and get your energy? You're not, right? You're at the mercy of life. So, all right, really, really quickly, grace, expansiveness, forgiveness. I just want to get some quick tools. I'm only going to focus on one. Grace, expansiveness, forgiveness, and presence. What is this message? Knight of Swords, God. Further clarify this message. Knight of Swords, the devil reverse, the lovers, and the 7 of Cups. Why is this so important for us to master our energy? Why is it so important for us to be mindful of what we give our energy to? And why are you asking us to stop being so impulsive? God, I ask that you deliver these messages to us clearly, allow no room for doubt or confusion in me or the viewer's mind. All right. Okay. I love it. The very first thing in the card that I'm going to focus on is rather than complaining, I will focus on positive aspects. And this is what God is saying. By us being impulsive, by us constantly, you know, as soon as we're mad at something, you know, making it trend on Twitter, do all this other stuff, all we're doing is magnetizing that to us. And so what God is saying, to stop that, to get the grace that we actually deserve, to give ourselves grace, is to slow down and stop being so impulsive and to focus on the positive instead of complaining. When you focus upon lack in the attitude of complaining, you establish a vibrational point of attraction that only gives you access to more thoughts of complaint. Your deliberate effort to tell a new story will establish a new pattern of thought, providing you with a new point of attraction. Look at this. Your deliberate effort to tell a new story will establish a new pattern of thought, providing you with a new point of attraction from your present about the past and into your future. About your past. Remember, I told you this is your younger child, into your future, right? The simple effort of looking for positive aspects will set a new vibrational tone that will begin the immediate attraction of thoughts, people, circumstances, and things that are pleasing to you. And so this message, this tool is talking about on an individual level. And I told you how this will help you on an individual level. But let's think about it on a global level, right? If we stop giving our attention to all of the things that are going wrong, if we stop waking up every day saying the world is this, the world is going to hell, the world is going to end, and if we deliberately and this is the thing, you don't even have to do, I'm saying this on a global scale, but honestly, it's really just individual. If every single day you wake up and instead of focusing on a negative or instead of focusing on what's going wrong in your life, you focus on a positive, you focus on what you do have, when there are things that make you mad, instead of rushing head towards it and you pause and you turn your attention elsewhere, what will end up happening is, on an individual level, your life is going to begin to change. You're going to come out of this, self-sabotaging energy, and then you're going to start attracting people, places, and things into your life, right? But also on a global scale, it will also do that because we do know that we need each other. So in order for you to attract somebody in your life, which means that person must be doing the same thing. So your person become 2, your 2 become 4, your 4 becomes 6, your 7 and this is how we make a global change. It starts on an individual basis, and then it starts on an individual basis. It happens locally, it happens statewide, and then it happens globally. Okay? Nationwide, then globally. So this is what God is trying to say. This is why it's so important for us to do this work. This is why you're here as a light worker. This is why you as a light worker, you as this being of light, you don't have the time to be giving your energy away. This card of present, it literally shows light. And then underneath this, it shows this woman literally looking at all of these cups, and it's like she's having to make a decision. You don't have the luxury of just giving your precious energy away. You have to be picky. You have to be very picky and choosy about what you choose to give your energy and your focus into. And what God is saying, instead of, complaining with everybody else, rushing in towards with the masses, your job is to hold back. Instead of complaining, find the positive aspects. Really quickly, underneath this, nothing is more important than that I feel good. Again, coming out of this sabotage energy, anytime you feel a negative emotion, you are in the mode of resisting something that you want. That resistance takes its toll on you. It takes its toll on your physical body, and it takes its toll on the amount of wonderful things that you allow into your experience. So again, this whole message, allow into your experience. I started this before we even came and before we even got these tools. This is all about energy management. And what God is saying, yeah, you may feel selfish. You may feel like, oh, I feel like I'm living an amazing life and everybody else is in hell. Who cares? You have to keep living your good life so that others can know that it's possible. If you turn your light out because everybody else's light out, we're in the fucking darkness. And what good is that going to do anybody? People need to see you and feel you. And when they see you and they feel you and they're like, damn, how is she like this and everything else? It's going to inspire them to want to be the same way. It's going to inspire them to be like, okay, so maybe things aren't so bad. Be mindful of who you're giving your energy into. Be mindful of who you're even following. For this forgiveness, the lovers, the subject of money is really two subjects. And this is just saying the subject of everything is two subjects. When you're focused on having money, you can also be focusing on, let me just read this one just because this is important. The subject of money is really two subjects. One, plenty of money, and two, the absence of money, not nearly enough money. Often people assume that because they are speaking the words, I want money, they are speaking positively about money. When you feel fear or discomfort as you speak, you are not speaking the subject of money. You are speaking the subject of not nearly enough money. And the difference is very important because the first subject brings money and the second takes it away. And so this talks about money, but this is the same thing about love. Oh, it's not possible for me to find love, or all the hoes are winning. And you don't feel good when you say this. It makes you feel like chained. It makes you feel like your options are limited. And that's the furthest from the truth. Nothing is more important that you feel good. We literally live in an expansive universe. And so when you're feeling bad, you need to start questioning yourself instead of just rushing towards those feelings and being like, oh, this is just who I am. No, examine it. Why do I feel like hoes are winning? Oh, is it because it seems like that's the standard? Like, examine, why do you feel this way? I was telling myself recently, I'm so lonely. And then one day I was writing in my journal and it's like, girl, honestly, are you really lonely? Because I see you talking to people every day when you walk out of your building, in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. I see you talking to people in your neighborhood. I see you talking to the guy at the grocery store. I see you talking to people on your job. I see you talking to people on your yoga class. I see you connecting with people and meeting people in real life. I see you connecting with people on the internet. People are joining your YouTube channel. So, bitch, are you really lonely? And I had to tell myself, like, and then those are all real people. Let's not even get on the invisible realm. Let's not even get on the spirit world. So it's like I had to tell myself, like, you're right. I'm not lonely. Yeah, I may not have a mate in my life. I may not have a group of girlfriends I'm going to kiki with every weekend. But it's like I'm not lonely. I'm surrounded by people all the fucking time. And so it's like I had to check myself and be like, that's not even true. Your mind is a liar. I'm here to tell you your mind is a fucking liar. It will tell you whatever the fuck it needs to tell you so you can feel okay. And if it feels like I'm lonely, will make me, because in my mind, it feels like it's reasoning why I feel these feelings of sadness. You lonely, you this, and it's just that I'm not used to being in this space. So I need to learn how to be comfortable in this space. It's not that I'm lonely. It's just that it's not that I'm lonely. I'm in a place of solitude right now. I'm in my fucking cocoon. And I need to learn how to be comfortable in this bitch because I have been resisting it. It says this right here. Whenever you're in the mode of resisting something, you're resisting what you want. And the thing is, I don't want, and when I was feeling lonely, and that I was feeling that resistance because I want community, when the truth is I am having community when I go out in the world. And so this is what it means. The subject of two things, it really is two subjects. And so your mind, you may be saying, I want love, I want love, I want love. But if you feel like shit when you're saying it, you're really saying, I don't believe love is possible. I don't believe love is possible. I don't believe love is possible. And so again, you really have to get control of not only your thoughts, but you got to get control of your vibrations. You have to learn to listen to your feelings. I keep telling you, there's no way you can become the alchemist of your life if you don't tap in with your feelings. Angel number 3023. Whew, let's finish. All right, last thing. 7 of Cups. The shortages of time or money is perpetual. Again, if you are feeling the shortage of time or money, your best effort will be to focus on something that makes you feel good. Your time is a perpetual thing. And this is just saying, like, again, the universe is expansive. So a lot of you guys may be feeling like, oh, the world is going crazy. I'm running out of time. I'm too late. I'm that. And you're feeling these feelings of resistance because your soul is saying that's not true. That's not true. And if you could just get in control of your mind, realize that your mind is a liar, then all of the things you want can come to you. And it is not by magic. It is by universal motherfucking law. Thank you, God, for bringing it out. Let's end it with this card. No, we're not even gonna win. Yeah, let's end it with this card. Start telling yourself a better feeling story about the things that are important to you. Do not write your story like a factual documentary, weighing all the pros and the cons of your experience, but instead tell the uplifting, fanciful, magical story of the wonder of your own life and watch how it transforms. It will feel like magic as your life begins to transform right before your eyes, but it is not by magic. It is by the powerful laws of the universe and your deliberate alignment with those laws. My life is only good as I allow it. And that's what God is saying. Look, there is no such time as time, there is no shortages of time or money. Whenever I'm feeling good, I'm attracting good. I want to harmonize with what I desire. My every vibration is my vibrational match. I can transform my world. I can't tell shortages of story I can't tell stories of shortages and experience lack. I will praise success whenever I see it. I can always tell a different financial story, and we're definitely going to end on this one. I am a vibrational being in a vibrational universe. And so just that was literally going down that thing to just clarify that God is saying this is an energy game. Your mind is a fucking liar, and you have to learn how to control it. Once you learn how to control your mind, once you learn how to control your energy, you will transform your life. And it's not by magic. It is by universal law. All right, y'all. We have done a lot of talking. I am actually going to just end this beautiful reading with a fortune card. Angel number 3243. God, dear God, guardian angels and ancestors, what happens to us if from this moment on we allow ourselves to actually apply that practice of being mindful of what we give our energy into? That came right out. Okay. What if we be more mindful what we get our energy into? What if instead of focusing on the negative, we will focus on the positive? What if we make feeling good our top priority? And what if we realize there is no shortages of time or money? What fortune will come to us if we apply this rule, this guidance that you gave us in this message? In God's name I pray. Ashe. All right. The other card that came out is a surprise. A disappointment will be followed by a pleasant surprise. An invitation could bring love to those seeking. So guys, if you go about this, what may happen is you may disappoint some people in your life. Some people may be mad that you're starting to set boundaries, or honestly, this sounds crazy, but a lot of people, angel number 3355, don't like to see people heal, and people don't like whole people in their lives. And so you may have a disappointment, or it may not even be that on that scale. It may just be a small disappointment. Whatever it is, it's going to turn around into a surprise, and it's going to help you, it's going to help and better you. Last but not least, a property purchase or sale for many, but heed security concerns in the transaction. This makes me happy because I actually am starting to look for a house. I was really sad that the house that I wanted, somebody bought it. So it's like, I may be able to get that property. Those 2 cards that popped out is perseverance. You may feel like you're getting nowhere, but there are wonderful changes up ahead. Do not give up. I honestly feel like for you guys, this is the last thing that was blocking your ascension, because literally expansiveness is right here. The Lovers is a major arcana card. The Devil is a major arcana card. With this coming out reversed, and then this coming literally right after it, it lets me know that by you breaking these chains, you will be able to come into union, and you'll be able to have those blessings and all of those things that you desire come to you. Last but not least, a word of caution: tough times are ahead. Think long term and make decisions accordingly. Avoid negative people at all costs. I told you guys, I said in the middle of this message that this could be the best or the worst time in your life, and the way that it's going to determine that is how you manage your energy. So manage it well. All right, y'all, that is all the messages I have for you. If you made it to the end of this message, please give me a thumbs up. If you made it at the end of this message, why don't you go ahead and drop some praise hands in here, or maybe give me a little star emoji to let me know that you got here. For anybody else, please tell me, what do you feel like, what do you feel like, I think that's it. If you made it to the end of this message, go ahead, give me a little star emoji, 3 star emojis to let me know that you're there. Or you can tell me, do you genuinely feel like your impulsiveness have gotten you in trouble sometimes? Let's have a conversation about it down below. All right, y'all, that's all the messages I have for you. Please make sure that you check out first of all, make sure you check out the description box below for all the resources, angel messages, as well as information about honestlysis.com. If you're interested in working with me, my books are open, so please make sure that you check it out. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Mwah. Angel number 3636. Take care.